Welcome to your daily writing habit, episode number 185. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book but you're having some trouble finishing it, or perhaps you're at the stage where you need help reaching your readers to let them know about your book, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you're looking for me online, you can look up Christine Inc., I-N-K, christine-inc.com. Each day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that 3 things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and these 3 things can turn someone who doesn't really consider themselves an author or even a writer into one. They are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Since the live version of this episode is airing on a Sunday, happy Sunday, everyone. Rather than giving you tips about writing your book, each Sunday what we do is we kick back a little bit and I give you an example of a finished product, usually by one of my authors, one of my clients. And at the end of this excerpt, I will pose a learning question that will hopefully help you with your own writing. So let's pull a book from the old Ink Authors bookshelf. Who do we have? We have Lit, Embracing Your Darkness to Find Your Light by the beautiful, amazing Mabel Rodriguez. I'm going to read from Mabel's book now. "You have a broken heart and a lost soul," said Dr. Kim. I had never heard of such a diagnosis before. I felt a tingle in my gut, a strong sense there was truth being told, and that I was supposed to trust this doctor, even though I had no clue what he meant. My intuition was speaking to me. Before meeting Dr. Kim, I had been sick for 2 years with 0 diagnosis. I had this outcome despite all the medical doctors I had visited about my illness. There were clear physical symptoms: 30-pound weight gain, lethargy, hair loss, bloated gut, orange skin, insomnia, and constipation. Yet nobody could determine where the disease came from. I had been on the wrong path for years, and now the universe was nudging me. Well, actually, it was more than a nudge. It felt as if I had been put in a blender and pulverized. Something was trying to get my attention. It wasn't one of those instant epiphanies, but I was gradually being forced to become aware of the problem that I had ignored until I was unable to deny its presence. My root problem was my inability to deal with my emotional pain in a healthy manner. This stemmed from all of my negative thoughts and beliefs. I knew there was something I needed to face, but lived with massive fear that I would not be able to handle whatever was the problem. If only I knew then that in order to heal, you have to feel. In order to feel, you have to deal. If I had understood this process, I probably would not have prolonged processing my emotional pain, and I might not have had my life-threatening wake-up call. For more than 10 years of my life, I had woken up with anxiety. These feelings of doom and fear that I would never be happy or experience a life that I truly loved and desired. I thought I would never amount to anything in this lifetime, and I lived with a deep, emotional, penetrating pain that would not leave my side. I hid who I really was as a person because I thought the real me was not good enough. I compared myself to other women, wishing I was more like them or had their happiness and success. I always doubted my decisions and paid psychics to give me the answers. I constantly worried about being rejected. But I tried to ignore all of these issues. I was the girl partying in the clubs until sunrise to avoid being home alone to deal with my feelings of emptiness. I pumped drugs and alcohol into my body to numb my emotions. I had countless dramatic, heartbreaking relationships. I used manipulation and control to get what I wanted, was quick to unleash my anger and defend my ego. I pretty much avoided any possible connection with my emotional pain. I was a lost girl, a lost soul who did not know her power or her worth, a woman completely disconnected from love, hope, and the possibility of being all that she longed to be. That again was from the book Lit, Embracing Your Darkness to Find Your Light by Mabel Rodriguez. You can find that on Amazon. And as promised, here is a learning question that you can apply to your own writing. You'll notice at the beginning of the excerpt, at the beginning of this chapter, Mabel used dialogue to pull us in as readers. So she had that line, "You have a broken heart and a lost soul," that this doctor was saying to her. And as I talked a little bit about in yesterday's episode with scenes, and I'll be talking more about in tomorrow's episode with dialogue scenes are fantastic ways to add entirely new levels of impact and even kind of drama to the points you're making. Especially, I love how she used it to open her book, it was the first chapter of her book actually that I just read, and just sucks you in right away because all of a sudden you're in the doctor's office sitting next to her on the table, presumably, and the doctor's delivering this diagnosis and you're like, what does that mean? So you're right there with her. There's really, for me, no more dramatic way to get your audience's attention than to put them in the scene with you. So that's today's learning question. How can you use scenes, specifically dialogue-driven scenes, to add impact to your points in your book? Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I'm helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And be sure and drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook for motivation, accountability, book writing, publishing resources, and more. That's Inc. I-N-K, Authors on Facebook. And if you know someone else who wants to write a book, please let them know about Your Daily Writing Habit. They can listen on their Amazon Alexa device and anywhere where podcasts are played. Until tomorrow, happy writing.